Well, so you clicked on the video. What are you? A sadist? Nah, I'm just pulling your leg. Anyway, time for some unusual torture methods. We have all heard of hanging, the Iron Maiden, boiling, or the brass and ball and such fun stuff. But I did my best to find other creative torture methods out there for you to try out. So here we go. Enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. The human mind has long been capable of dreaming up new and terrible ways to punish alleged transgressors, villains, witches, and anyone else who was unlucky enough to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. What if someone really wrongs you, like steals your sheep, or somehow must have caused a crop failure, or something because they gave you a shifty look that one time? Throughout the ages, some extremely brutal methods of torture and execution have come and gone. Number 1. Ling Chi. Ling Chi, also known as slow slicing or death by 1,000 cuts, was a method of torturous execution practiced in China. It was also used in Vietnam and Korea. The condemned was tied to a post in public, and the knife was used to methodically remove portions of the body over an extended period of time, eventually resulting in death. Bits of skin and limbs were gradually removed one by one, usually culminating in a final cut to the heart or decapitation. The punishment worked on 3 levels, as a form of public humiliation, as a slow and lingering death, and as a punishment after death. It was used as early of the 10th century and continued for nearly 1,000 years. Luckily, it was banned in 1905. Just a fair warning though, don't put Ling Chi into the Google search engine if you have a weak stomach. But anyway, let's continue. Number 2. Gridiron. Gridiron, grid for torture by fire. The gridiron was basically a grill for roasting people, as one might expect. This type of torture is often mentioned in the books of the early Middle Ages. It is usually described as an ordinary metal grill 6 feet long and 2.5 wide, mounted horizontally on the legs in order to be able to make a fire underneath. A man was shackled to a gridiron, making it impossible to stand up. Lying on such a lattice, victims of torture received burns from hot metal and an open flame. Some people were even basted in oil first to ensure a proper broiling. But take heart, they weren't eaten afterwards, probably. Well, I hope you haven't passed out yet, so let's keep on moving. We got 3 more to go. Number 3. Drawing and quartering. Drawing and quartering is one of the most infamous methods of cruel and unusual punishments. It's still difficult to believe it's an actual thing that was conceived by actual humans and happened to actual unfortunate souls. The punishment was first doled out in England in the 13th century. The accused was drawn, tied to a horse, and dragged to the gallows, and if lucky, then usually hanged or beheaded. Otherwise disemboweled and to have his body split in quarters, sometimes by tying each limb to a different horse and having them run in opposite directions. This punishment was reserved for those guilty of treason and was abolished in 1867. Yeah, the medieval time sounds rough, but I'm glad to be alive in present day. Let's continue. Number 4. The pear. This harmless sounding device looks like flower petals that are opening. In reality, it is one of the worst death machines imagined, and first mentioned in France. This device, also called the pear of anguish, was reserved for women, homosexuals and liars. Shaped like a ripe fruit, the choke pear was of intimate design, literally. Once inserted into the lower parts of a woman or the quote back door unquote on a man and sometimes the mouth. The device, which had 4 sharp metal leaves, was cranked open, and the leaves expand wider and wider. It would slowly stretch the mouth open and crack its victim's jaws, mutilating the victim, or crack some other holes I cannot really mention in this video. Anyway, it doesn't sound pleasant. Who wouldn't want a razor pair stuck where the sun don't shine? Number 5. White torture. While the term white torture can mean any psychological torture in general, the meaning here is more literal. White noise torture is a type of sensory deprivation in which a prisoner's cell, clothes, and even food are entirely white. Guards wear all white, lights are kept on 24/7 a day, and no words are spoken, no color is seen. It was documented in the case of Amir Fakrava, who was arrested in his native land of Iran and subjected to white torture for some 8 months in 2004. While the physical pain of sensory deprivation is minimal compared to other tortures on this list, the psychological damage is beyond compare. Fakrava was quoted as saying when he was released, he was not a normal person anymore, and could no longer remember even the faces of his parents. Well, this sounds like a modern day isolation cell, I would guess. Even that is torture, but yeah, that's number 5. And there you have it, 5 unusual torture methods. It was a hard time choosing because they were so scary enough, there are so many out there. I might even make a second video on this topic. But what do you think? Would you like a second video with more unusual torture methods? Tell me in the comments below. And for now, I'm going to invent my own torture device tonight in my garage. But anyway, have a great day and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.